Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mubari's podcast. This is Hashmat Mubaris, your host. Today, I'm honored to host someone whose journey is nothing short of inspiring. Fatima Rezaie, a proud Afghan graduate of Brown University, one of the world's most respected academic institutions. From the streets of Afghanistan to the halls of Brown, her path is a story of resilience, courage, and belief in something greater than circumstances. Dear Fatima, it's a true pleasure to have you on Boris podcast. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much, Hashma John, for having me here. It's a pleasure to have this conversation. Hopefully, this would help other girls and women in Afghanistan or out of Afghanistan to find it inspiring or help them to navigate their life better, as like seeing someone who already went through that journey in a different time. But thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you once again for joining us. To be honest, we have been waiting for this episode for a long time, almost 2 months. But by the way, once again, welcome. Let's start from your childhood and from your early life in Afghanistan. Growing up in Afghanistan means growing up surrounded by both love and limitation, especially for girls who dream big like you. Many of those dreams are challenged by traditions, unfortunately, restrictions, political games, and uncertainties, and so much more. Yet somehow, you managed to keep moving forward, and your story gives a hope to those who still believe in their own potential. Can you take us back to your childhood? What were your dreams back then, and how did this early experience shape the person who you've become today?
Oh my God, I love that question. It will definitely take us a long time, more than this, like 40 minutes, to just focus on that question. But so I grew up, I was born in Iran, and my parents came back to Afghanistan after Karzai took power back in 2002, 2003. And we settled down in Herat, and I did my high school there. During that time, it was just interesting to see that I was seeing a lot of amazing things on TV, honestly, when with different shows,
Mhm.
and I knew that I was born to do great things in life, but the situation back then, it was kind of impossible for me even to think that it would be possible one day. I knew that I would be doing great things in life, but I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when, and I don't know how that would be even possible, considering that I am like I'm in Afghanistan, and with like my family not having that financial kind of power to support me. I was like, I don't know what to do or how it can be possible for me to achieve those big dreams, and to kind of I had that gut feeling that, oh my God, I know I was born to do great things, but I don't know how. So, but during high school and during elementary school and middle school, I was one of the top students. I was trying my best to use any and every opportunity that I had to grow as a person, and was very much actively involved in some community works. I was helping like other girls to also get better at what they do. So, and my parents were also very supportive. I'm very glad that both of my parents, my baba and mama,
Mhm.
and my cousins, like the whole family member, they are fully invested in my well-being, in my development, and they would be cheering for me no matter where I am, and checking like to see how am I doing. So back then it was just so nice to have them all in person, and my parents were all like telling me to go chase your dreams. My baba told me that no matter where you're going, I'm always supporting you. Go south, go north, go east and west. We are here for you. And it was just so nice to have their support, to have someone who listens to me and who supports me no matter what. Though we are unfortunately, after I went to Lebanon, I realized that how family permission is a big thing. I was like, oh my God, when I decided to leave Afghanistan, I was like, I'm just gonna go and chase my dreams. I was like, my parents were fully supportive. So that's when I noticed, oh my God, not all of the families, they are like my family, and not everyone has the privilege of having like very highly educated, supportive, open-minded parents. So it was just so nice to at least, like, I'm so humbled and so privileged, and I'm so blessed with that. And that's why it just helped me to um fly as high as I can, and then I just go chase my dreams wherever, and go to conferences, go to different countries and meet different people, and just be fully invested, also focus on my career, on my personal and professional growth. And that's why it helped me a lot in life. And when
Mhm.
I like listen to other people's stories, I'm like, don't feel like you're alone there. I'm always here. Like I'm your that online big sister abroad who will be providing anything and everything for you to grow. So they helped me a lot in my life. And when I was back in Afghanistan, and after that, they really set me up for success. Like I went to Lebanon and then Korea and France,
Yep.
and then I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'm sure. I'm sure your parents are now proud of you. Actually, a whole nation are proud of girls like you know, reaching the top universities in the world and working day and night for your peers, for your pupil inside and outside Afghanistan. Actually, it was such an inspiring journey, and I wish we could have more supportive parents like yours to support their females, especially, and to give them the chance to raise like you. And I'm sure you're one of those samples. And I'm currently asking our parents to support their females and to give them the chance because they can do. I'm sure 100%. And we have thousands of examples like you, and you're uh, the live sample of that. But
True.
for many Afghani students, access to education feels like a distant dream, unfortunately, in these days. And for girls, it's often forbidden one. You, however, turned that dream into something extraordinary by reaching, one of the most prestigious universities in the world, Brown University. I'm sure that it must have taken, strain, guidance, and endless determination. How did your educational, journey begin? As I have reached your background first, I think you finished your bachelor degree at the American University of Beirut. And what were the key turning points that lead you all the way to the Brown University?
Oh my God, I have, okay. This question is also very interesting. So the key turning moment was, so back in 2022, on November, I guess, I went to France, and I was attending the World Forum for Democracy as a youth delegate from Afghanistan, and I traveled from Lebanon to
Mm-hmm.
France. And then I had two interventions at the Hemicycle of Council of Europe, was talking about Afghan women rights in Afghanistan, Hazara genocide, and human rights issues in the country. So, and then during that, when I was after I gave my speech, the former president of Mongolia reached out to me and told me that how he was impressed by
Wow.
my performance and my speech, and he told me like he sees a lot of potential in me. So he told me like apply to good schools, like go continue your master's degree in America, apply to Harvard Kennedy School. I went to Harvard Kennedy School and I really loved it. I was like, oh my God, like if a president tells you that, so you should definitely start like implementing that. So I was kind of quite shocked having that conversation with a former president. He did a lot of amazing stuff during his time, and that was a very inspiring conversation. So I went back to AUB, American University of Beirut, and I was telling my story with the civic engagement center that we had. And then they also told me like, Fatima, you have a really good like GPA, and you have been doing a lot of community work, and you've been doing great in school and out of school, and everything is just so perfect. Like, not why not to like go and apply to like Harvard Kennedy School, Brown University, and other Ivy Leagues. I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
I didn't have that kind of confidence to apply to
Ivy League
universities
schools. Yep.
aside from Ivy. I was like, Ivy League is something, oh my God, it feels like out of reach, but I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I was like, oh my God, just aside from like dreaming that big, I was like, I'm not sure if I would be able to get into any graduate school in America. So, but that didn't mean that I would like stop there. I started working on my applications. I didn't have much time, and it was also kind of too late to start also. But I was
Mhm.
like, okay, I want to dedicate like 3, 4 months, and that will be it. I was working like very hard like in the past like 3 years. So that was like my about to be senior year. So it was like during the winter, yeah. And then I was working hard, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I probably like deserve to be in an Ivy League. I was like, let's see what will happen. So that was the kind of the turning moment for me to start working on my applications for Ivy Leagues, for kind of different like public universities too across the United States. And I started like working and gathering all the documents that I had and preparing my personal statement, writing my story and what is it that I want to do in life. And I was so happy that my professors really helped me because there
Mhm.
were days that I was submitting 2 to 3 applications and I would be sending the emails like requesting a recommendation letter from my professors at 2, 3 in the morning. I remember the time that I was writing my personal statements in different departments like at 2 in the morning
Oh,
because the deadline was like in a week or 2 weeks and I didn't have time. And I'm so glad that I had amazing professors who were there for me and supported me in any way that they could. And yeah, that helped me a lot. That was a
yeah,
turning point.
but honestly, it worked. It worked.
It worked. It
Yeah.
worked. That's why I'm like never
Yeah.
ever quit on yourself
Yes, of
and give
course.
everything and anything that you're dreaming of a try and don't go to the conclusion before even trying.
Yep. Now let's open a new topic. We talked about your achievement and how you get to Brown University and your early life, but I'm sure as an Afghan woman, as a lady raising up in Afghanistan, you have come across and you have passed so many challenges and obstacles. Uh, in Afghanistan, in the past and right now, even walking to school can be an act of courage for a girl. But every step toward the education can be a quiet protest against fear and inequality and so much more. But you face these realities and still. Um, Fortunately, you managed to raise, which makes your story deeply meaningful for
True.
everybody, including me. And
Yeah.
let me ask this: that what are some of the challenges that, as an Afghan woman raising up in Afghanistan, pursuing education, you have faced?
So some of the challenges like that I faced as an Afghan woman pursuing my education abroad was that um, Afghanistan's education system is quite different than what I had in like American University of Beirut or at Brown University. So our school systems, they don't prepare us or I don't want to talk generally, but the school that I went in was a public school. So it kind of didn't prepare me that much for what I saw back in like in my time in
Hmm.
Lebanon. So here at Brown University, everything is quite different. And aside from that academic kind of challenges of like transitioning from the Afghanistan's education system to American education system, it's also a new culture, a new world that you are kind of entering and living a new lifestyle away from your family and friends. You're speaking a new language. You are living in a different culture. People might be kind of, there might be also culture shocks, and there might be also a lot of misconceptions about like your culture coming from Afghanistan and like as a woman there. So many people kind of told me that they never thought that I was Afghan. And this kind of cultural differences, language differences, and also this acad in when it comes to the academia, everything was quite different. And it took me some time, honestly. During my freshman year, I just focused on doing well at school. I remember a time that I had this biology exam,
Hmm.
and when I left, when I just submitted my paper. I left the classroom crying because I was like, I don't know what happened, but I know I passed it.
Mhm.
And so sometimes that education system like really humbled me because I was like I was doing amazing back in Afghanistan, but here it's just completely new and it's taking me some time. There are students who are going to my like classmates coming from the Gulf region and other countries. They were doing really well, and because they were going to private schools and the education system like it was perfect. So it was quite hard, honestly, like to personally, mentally, spiritually navigate the journey. But I just wanted, like, I took the time, honestly, to digest and everything and anything that I was facing. And after my sophomore year, I started to get better because I was like, I'm good to go with the academia, and I want to start like doing more community work. So that's when the whole journey began. Like I was having fun, I was doing well in my at school, and I was like really learning Arabic and getting
Oh,
involved.
can you speak Arabic?
Yeah, I can speak, but I
Oh,
have to
that's
work
cool.
on that. I have to work on that more because it's been
That's
a
cool.
while. Yes, I started learning Arabic and I kind of put myself at the center of everything. Like when it comes like when I was like learning Arabic, I went outside with like my internet, with my headphone and some cash in my pocket, and I was like, I just want to experience life here. And I really made amazing like I love the journey. I made amazing friends, and now I have a lot of memories. Like when I
That's
check
cool.
my gallery, it's just nice moments that I shared with amazing people.
Yeah,
And
I can
now,
feel you. I can feel. You also talked about a public school in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, as someone who has graduated from a public school, I'm sorry to say this, Afghan people, but we can clearly see it's just a waste of time. Just a waste of time, you know. No teachers, no experienced teachers, no, actually, I can just say this, it's a waste of time. By the way, but you also said that, studying abroad is not just about academics, as you have mentioned before. You're adapting yourself to new environment, to new culture, learning new things, and actually finding a new version of ourselves.
true.
Whenever we are changing our environment, actually we are changing, ourselves. And it's also about finding a new version of ourselves. But for someone coming from a war-torn country, like Afghanistan, the world outside, I'm sure it can feel both fascinating and overwhelming to see so much new things. And yet you manage to find your voice in a space so different from home, so different. How was your experience actually at Brown, and how did the journey shape your understanding of the world around you?
So, AUB, like my like undergrad at American University of Beirut really helped me a lot to get ready for what I experienced here at Brown, and I was ready for what like that 1 year master's degree, which was quite challenging, but it was an kind of a smooth transition from my undergrad to master's degree. And here I met amazing people. Like my professors are all brilliant at whatever that they do, like whatever field that they have their expertise on. And they are really good also in connecting with the youth and understanding them and giving them like advice on like career wise. Sometimes I would ask like very silly questions and they have something amazing to share. And honestly, we're in our early 20s and we have lots of things to do in our life, but we just don't want to waste our energy. So it's really nice to have a directions, like a map, so you can navigate life better. And I really am grateful for all the time that they dedicated to help me and with all the things happening at home, I'm happy that so many of them were there to support me. My classmates are coming from different backgrounds, different age groups, and I made amazing friends from Qatar, from South America, Europe, North America. So it's just nice to see like so many people with different interests all in the same classroom and working on different policy issues. And I was there talking about Afghanistan. So whenever my name comes up, like the first thing is like, okay, Afghanistan, Afghan women, Fatima. And it was just so nice to be part of the brown community. Honestly, I loved my experience, and I am also
Did you
like,
graduated from Brown University or you're
yeah,
still studying your
I
master's degree?
graduated from Brown University. So if anyone wants to apply, just DM me, and I would be happy to have a conversation to help you all like apply to Brown or other Ivy League schools.
Yes, as I'm seeing right now, unfortunately, Afghan youth are lost, they have lost their past, they have lost their dreams. Including myself, last year I've also applied to several American universities. Unfortunately, I was honored to receive some admissions from some universities, one on two, including one full funded scholarship from University of Connecticut. But unfortunately, due to the travel ban policy, I was not able to get my student visa. And I know a lot of girls. A girl that who is living in Missouri Sheriff City, in our own city, that he has been admitted to Princeton, but unfortunately she was not able to get her visa. But yeah, honestly, Afghan youths are now lost. They have lost their path. But by the way, today Afghanistan is a place where silence has replaced the laughter of a girls. In classrooms, in the streets, in public life. Many young are forced to give up on their dreams. But yet we have some people like you that they continue and they present the voices of Afghan women, Afghan girls, and Afghan people on global platforms. And it will be so interesting to hear that how do you personally cope with the watching the situation of women and situation of your sisters in Afghanistan today?
Yeah, so it's totally understandable, and I really sympathize with all the women back home. The situation, status quo is quite different than the kind of situation that I navigated back in 2019. And it's very hard right now, especially with all these policy changes in America, which has made everything quite hard for students to pursue their education and their dreams in this country. And for me personally, I sometimes on my weekends, I just sit and start journaling. I have this notebook with myself that I had since I was doing my undergrad back in Lebanon, and I have like every single like moments that of chaos that I was experiencing in life. I just wrote it down here, and I have all those memories, especially during the time that I didn't know that I will be getting into Brown or not. Or during the time that I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's my next, what's
Mhm.
gonna be my next step after graduation. So journaling helps me a lot. And also I have conversation with my friends back home, helping them also with their applications and helping them with we sometimes it's not only working on their goals, but also just girls having conversation with each other and supporting each other. Yesterday, I had a very good conversation with a very close friend of mine, and it was quite therapeutic. And both of us at the end, we were like, I told her like, promise me that you'll take action on whatever that you are planning to do in life, because next thing that I want to see would be your achievements. I don't want this conversation to end like a conversation. I said something, you heard.
Having a friend like you is a wish.
Oh, thank you so much. And with the community, so on my platforms, I also sometimes have conversation with different girls. I had a conversation with a girl in Helmand. His father actually messaged me on Facebook that he wanted consultation, like wanted me to talk to her, to his daughter, who's
Mhm.
gonna hopefully going to Uganda. I'm not sure what happened, but I had that conversation with that girl. She was an amazing, brilliant, hardworking, super smart girl and very ambitious. And I talked to her mom after that. My mom was also on the call. It was just so nice to have that conversation with them, to
Hmm.
hear their stories, to see, oh my God, how energetic they are. And she was only 13 years old.
Oh.
I was 13 and I didn't know which one is my right hand and my left hand. So so interesting to hear their stories, and I love those conversations. I'm so happy that some people like find me worthy of like sharing their dreams, and they find refuge in me. That's why they have kind of they message me, they share their stories with me, and I'm really happy that God gave me that a power to be able to help as many people as I can. And I love those conversations. I try my best to help as many as possible. Sometimes just I want to dedicate some time to also, like, I've been helping women a lot, and a lot of the young men in the community have been complaining. So I was like, okay, so let's see how I can just collectively help them. That's when I started like posting different contents, like general opportunities for youth in Afghanistan. So I don't want to be very like forgetting the men. I'm like, Afghanistan can be improved, can get better with both of us, men and women, shoulder by shoulder. And that's how I've been able. I found like counseling therapeutic, like the hearing they're still talking to different women and who are reaching out to me and asking for help. And I'm also having amazing close friends and family members. My mom is also my bestie, and she's always there to support me whenever I'm feeling under the weather, and my brothers also, and my whole family. So that's how I kind of cope with everything, though I've been living abroad for 7 years, but it doesn't like mean that I forgot my like roots, and I need them still, and they mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
And
Uh, Once again, I would like to say a very special thanks to your father, to your mother. I wish I could kiss their hands to raising such a girl.
thank you
Thanks,
so much.
mom. Thanks, dad, for raising such a brave lady. But
Thank
in this age, I'm sure you're a thunk of experience, and I'm sure that behind every success there is lies of collection of lessons, and sometimes learned through failure, as you have said, sometimes through pain, sometimes through fate. And but most of people see the achievements, the good side of that, the happy side of that, but most people do not realize the stories behind every achievements and behind every success. It will be so interesting for us that what are some of the most important lessons you have learned on your path, and yeah.
Yeah, so it might be very cliche, but never ever quit on yourself. Never. Do take action. It's never late to start anything that you want in life. I wanted to learn Pashto when I was in grade 12. And now, 7 years down the road, I started actually learning Pashto. So I can say steady meshi, that's it. But I'm learning. So never ever quit on yourself, on your dreams. Do what it takes to get what you want, and be very stubborn and consistent, and keep that faith, that light. And I personally have been quite like persistent when it comes to whatever I wanted to have in life. Maybe the timing wasn't good, but I didn't forget that dream and that goal. I found a new way to like get to what I wanted, and it may take some time, but never ever quit on yourself and your
Yeah.
dreams.
Yep. But as a last question there, you've already achieved so much, so much. And yet I'm sure your journey is just beginning. Every dream you have turned into reality has also inspired others, people like me. Uh, Now, the question is, what is next for you personally? And what are your hopes and goals for the future, both for yourself and for the future of Afghan women?
Oh my God. So for myself, it's a work in progress. Honestly, every day I learn something new, and that helps me get better and better and find new creative ways of achieving what I want in life. So that's a work in progress. For the women, for Afghan women back home or in neighboring countries, I hope one day we all would be able to continue our education. So you can have the freedom to work, to study, to travel abroad, to chase your dreams. And hopefully one day, like education is not just a dream. You can go anywhere and everywhere you want for that. And hopefully one day we all have that freedom to go back in our country, live a happy life, work, and make Afghanistan great again.
Yep. Uh, Thank you, Fatima John. Thank you for joining us and thank you for giving us time. It was my pleasure to have this meaningful conversation and this meaningful episode. But at the end, if there's anything that I have missed, or if there's anything that you want to share with your sisters inside and outside Afghanistan, Mike is yours there.
Thank you so much, Hashmat John. It was a pleasure also
My
talking with
pleasure.
you. It's always very enjoyable and inspiring for me also to see young people like you. I
Thank you.
love that consistency for that you continue just messaging me. And then a friend of mine told me that I was like, oh my God, I should recheck my DMs. My last message is that if like message, advice, suggestion is that if anyone is interested in continuing their education abroad, you can email me. I'm always like checking my emails. I'm trying my best to get to as many people as I can and review their personal statements. So if like never ever like shy away, and like I'm your big sister abroad and online. So I try my best to be as helpful, as useful as I can be. So reach out to me. If you just want to have a talk, we can simply talk. And life is overwhelming sometimes. And I do understand that. So never ever quit on yourself, and just you have a big sister abroad. So please DM me, please reach out to me if you have any questions, suggestions. And if you're confused about certain things, any decisions that you're making, sometimes I even am consulting on some personal issues, though I'm just like saying I leave the decision to them, but I'm just sharing my thoughts. It's just nice to have that conversation, girls supporting girls. So here for you, and don't like hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you once again, Fatima John, for joining us. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much, Hashmat Jan.